Why does the land spin so fast? This land. It promised hope and opportunity, but it hides a basket full of biting snakes. Do not mind me. I must have hit my head. Now I need to find my partners. If only the land would remain beneath my feet and the sky stay above my head. It was a nightmare. We were on our way to Orsinium, ready to start a new business, when we were set upon by Winterborn from the Reach. I whipped our beasts for all they were worth, but in their fear, they ran off the road and our cart overturned. It is a mystery and a mystery. My partners, my friends, they are gone. I fear they went over the cliff, along with most of the books we brought from Daggerfall. Please find them. I would aid you, but my head spins like a broken top. Please hurry and find my friends. I fear that none of us will survive long on our own in this forsaken wilderness. Our partnership formed back in Daggerfall, where Jalare, Trevofia and I established a successful book-selling business. When the opportunity presented itself, we decided to make the move to Orsinium. If only I knew what awaited us here. Oh yes, rare books, popular books. Even a few ancient scrolls when we have them. And with connections throughout the Daggerfall Covenant, special orders pose no problem. With our Orsinium merchant's permit, we plan to open a shop in the city. Who knew orcs could be so bureaucratic? Nothing happens in the new city without the proper forms and licenses. After months of negotiation, we finally received the permit that allows us to open our shop in Orsinium. It's Jalare's dream come true. Jalare is perhaps the most cunning of us when it comes to business. She has a way with figures and calculations that makes even the most miserly coin counter jealous. And more, Jalare is my life and my love. We plan to marry in the spring. Trevofia has paper and ink flowing through her blood. Her father and her father's father sold tomes and manuscripts, and she was educated working in their shop back in Sentinel. She and Jalare are like sisters, and I trust her completely.
Keep your head down and your voice low. We don't want to attract any attention. Across the water, harpies. Can't you see them? They came out of the sky, the feathered monsters. They snatched poor Jalare. I think they carried her up into those rocks. I'd go after them, but what can I do against so many harpies? Luck and clear roads. I thought Namadine died in the crash or was taken by those feathered monsters. Please, if you can cross the river, save Jalare and secure our documents, we'll be forever in your debt. Jalare carried the merchant's permit, which allows us to establish our bookshop in Orsinium. Without those documents, everything we worked so long and hard for will amount to nothing. Like a mummy.
You shall travel to many exotic places before your adventure comes to an end. I am the wise woman of the clans. I come here to think and contemplate the great mysteries of life. I find it peaceful here. What Durzogs? Besides, there is no fear, just misunderstanding. I serve all clans, but I claim none of them as my home. Every chief wants me at his side, but what I have to say must not be limited to a single stronghold. Some call me a philosopher, others a sage. I suppose you could say that I am sought out for my wisdom and sound judgment. Most seek profound insight or advice from me. Perhaps that is why you have encountered me this day. Some seek my counsel. but insight given freely isn't worth the price you pay for it. Sweet words drip from your mouth like flowing honey. Very well. Listen carefully. Fight only those you can defeat, and your life will be long and boring. Challenge those that are stronger than you, and your last moments will be quick and exciting.
Get back, you fetcher! You came to meet us, just as you promised. I'm happy to see you safe, but it pains me to see you are alone. Whatever news you bring, give it to Namadine first. He deserves that much, at least.
You returned. Travafia and I started toward Orsinium, but we hoped you'd find us on the road. Were you successful? Have you changed our ill fate to good fortune? My heart plummets at the news you bring, and all the light departs from my sky. I will take the Orsinium permit of trade, though. I do not know if I can do this without my Jalare, but I won't let her dream die too. Thank you.
I am sorry for Jalare's loss. I cannot replace her in Namadine's eyes, but thanks to you, our business and livelihood can continue. We'll mourn, and then we'll make our way to Orsinium. I hope you visit our shop one day.
The loss of a third of our partnership hits like a heavy blow, and the devastation darkens my soul. I do not know if I can continue with this enterprise, but it was Jalare's dream, and I'll do my best to bring honor to her memory.
Ah, greetings, traveler. Hold a moment, won't you? I'm looking for a cave. It would be foul-smelling, likely surrounded by scattered bones and such. Have you seen such a place? Ah, an inquisitive sort. I like it. I'm searching for a Nord beastmaster named Nikolvara. My contacts tell me she possesses an enchanted whistle that can tame any creature in Tamriel. Marvelous, yes? Apparently she lives in a Durzog lair nearby. Excellent! I can't wait to try it out for myself. We'll be rich. Did you test it? How well did it work? You're joking, right? I spent my last gold piece getting to this three-forsaken wasteland? A pox on these orcs and their stupid beasts. I suppose you've earned your cut, such as it is. I'll need to find a new opportunity now.
This is so much better than a cell. The bunny thought her fur would never recover. Thank you for pitying this one's predicament.
Snow and more snow. I should have remained at the campfire. I have no idea what direction I should go, and I'm freezing out here. I serve aboard Matir's Fortune, or at least I did before we wrecked upon the ice. We were bringing the ambassador to Hrothgar when a horrendous storm blew up, sent the fleet off course and crashed us into the frozen shore. They sent me to find help, but I'm practically useless when it comes to navigating on dry land. Look, go talk to Lord Ethian at our camp. The survivors gathered there, but his wife, the ambassador, is still missing. He's worried sick about her. I'm glad I ran into you. Maybe you're just the bit of good luck we need to salvage something from this terrible situation. The camp is near the shore. You can still see what's left of our fleet from that location. Not much to tell. Our fleet was comprised of a half-dozen vessels from Daggerfall, tasked with getting High King Emmerich's ambassador to a trade meeting in Orsinium. The fleet is wrecked, the ambassador's missing, and Lord Ethian is lost without her. I couldn't say. I was working below deck when the storm hit. But it was a powerful storm, full of wind and snow. It carried us off course and rammed us right into the frozen coastline. Lady Sovel, she's a remarkable woman. High King Emmerich thinks the world of her. Always sends her on the most important diplomatic missions of the realm. The last I saw her, she was helping survivors get off one of the sinking ships. Lord Ethian is the ambassador's husband. In fact, his father owns most of the ships in our fleet, provided them for the mission he did. Between us, his lordship is kind of a nervous cub, frightened of his own shadow. He's lost without Lady Sovel.
First the storm, then we crashed upon the ice. Those terrible little monsters attacked us. I just wish my wife wasn't still out there. I don't mind admitting that I'm lost without her. Help? Of course we need help. My wife is Lady Sovel, ambassador to the High King. She was on her way to Orsinium to negotiate an important trade agreement. But the ships went off course, and crashed in the storm. My wife disappeared in the confusion. You want to discuss geography? Now? My wife is missing! We need to find Lady Sovel. She was helping people off one of the wrecks, the other survivors. Captain Henriza won't risk any more sailors, but perhaps you could search the ice for me? High King Emmerich relies upon my dear Sovel. If she were here, she'd know what to do. My Lady Sovel, if it will help, I'll tell you whatever you'd like to know. High King Emmerich sent her to negotiate a lucrative trade agreement with Orsinium, but it's probably too late for that now. What else would you like to know? It was powerful. Practically a blizzard. I think it blew us off course, but who am I to judge such things? I'm not a sailor and terrible with directions. Sovel says I'd get lost on my own estate if not for all the servants. I'm not sure how these negotiations work. It's really more of Sovel's area of expertise. Without her, I don't know who can deal with Orsinium. We did have an orc with us. Skordo. Sovel thought well of him. But you know how orcs can be. The last time I saw my wife, right after we hit the ice. The storm was raging and everything was loud and confusing. Sovel sent me ashore with the first group of survivors. She stayed behind to help, just like she always does. Please find her.
If I were a stronger man, I'd go out and look for it myself. Did I hear correctly? Will you be visiting the wrecked ships? If so, perhaps I could impose upon you for a small favor. I apologize for even asking, but I have no qualms admitting that I am no match for even one Reeker, let alone a dozen of the foul creatures. If, during your travels, you happen upon a gold pendant, well, it belongs to me. In light of all the lives lost, it may seem trivial, but I spent a month's wages on the pendant. It was to be a betrothal gift from my lovely Eleni. Thoughts of her beauty helped me survive this terrible disaster. Find it, and I will be in your debt. I appreciate your help. The pendant holds a great deal of sentimental value to me. It's a beautiful piece, crafted of delicate gold and inscribed with my lovely Eleni's initials on the back. There is not another like it for 1,000 leagues. Truth be told, I did not so much lose the pendant as I was forced to leave it behind when we abandoned the wrecked ships. It should still be locked away in a coffer in my cabin, if that part of our ship hasn't sunk into the icy sea. You doubt my word? That pains me. Of course the pendant belongs to me. I am the one that asked you to find it. I am the one who described its perfect beauty. And I am the one who needs to recover it for his betrothed. What other proof do you need?
I saw you talking to that milksop, Ethian. He's nothing like his father, nothing at all. But I don't have time for his belly aching. I need to make sure we don't lose any more people to the cold and the ice. I am. Although I'm not sure that means much now that my vessels are smashed upon the ice. Is there something you want, or are you just here to remind me of my failures? Off course? What do you know of navigation and seamanship? I'm paid to make port as fast and as safely as possible. I've sailed this coastal sea lane before, not that it's any of your business. If not for the storm, we'd be in Orsinium by now. We rescued Ethian, what more do you want? Haven't I lost enough sailors already? The ambassador's gone, probably drowned or crushed on the ice. I have a duty to the survivors here. Besides, we never should have come to this land in the first place. On the quarterdeck, during the storm, she was helping one of those green-skinned savages she loved so well. Who can say, though, I was trying to avoid an iceberg at the time.
You don't look familiar. Which of the ships were you sailing on when we hit the ice? I'm the first mate of the flagship, Matier's Fortune. I came down here to secure the hatches when I saw the ambassador's bodyguard. Then I hit my head. I don't remember anything after that. Now that you mention it, I thought something was wrong. I never sailed with Captain Henriza before, and I never sailed this part of the sea, so I could have been mistaken. I tried to reach the captain, but that's when we ran into the blizzard. I wouldn't want to disparage the captain. She works for Lord Ethian's father, and most of the ships belong to him. Because of the ambassador's mission, they wanted to make an impression. Nobles. Scordo the Knife? He's an orc from North Point. The ambassador brought him along in case we ran into any trouble. He told me that he thought something was going on, and asked me to keep my eyes open. The ambassador? I have no idea. I did see Lady Sovel and the captain having a heated discussion right before the storm hit. Oh dear. I hope the ambassador wasn't injured when we crashed. I'll go check on Lord Ethian. He's a nervous sort.
Whoever you are, can you move some of these damn crates? I'm stuck! Damn furniture tore up my sword arm. I'm practically useless. Stupid ship started collapsing around me. Figured I was gonna sink before I got out from under this mess. Sure, I enjoy being crushed under rubble as I slowly sink into icy water. What kind of question is that? And just who in oblivion are you? I had a feeling I'd be seeing you again. You do have a habit of wandering into the most disastrous situations. How should I know? This may shock you, but I'm not much of a keep-in-touch person. Honestly, I picked up my rucksack and walked not long after you left. Things probably settled down, but I doubt we got all the vampires. Creepy bastards. Cold Harbor. I'd prefer to forget about that dismal place. I lost a lot of good friends there. A lot. Poor Darien. Do you remember Darien? He was a good man. Let's talk about something less depressing. He did he? Last time I saw that spineless skeever, him and Chorus the Mage were walking away. They left me under here to die. I heard them talking about the captain and the ambassador as they left. He's one of Captain Henriza's lackeys, a shifty-eyed mage who was always skulking around. Didn't like him. Look, help me out. I don't think I can swing a sword right now, but I need to make sure the ambassador is all right. Hard to believe, but not every Breton likes that High King Emmerich made peace with the orcs. They call us savages, and they want Lady Sovel's mission to fail. Captain Henriza wasn't shy about telling the ambassador just what she thought about orcs. I won't be much use in a fight, so I'll follow you. I suggest checking out more of the wrecks, or maybe she headed for that tower over there.
Once Captain Henriza left the camp, I couldn't convince his lordship to remain behind. So I followed along to try to keep him safe.
Have you found my wife yet? Please tell me that you know where Sovel is. Where could she be? And why did she have to stay on the ship? She cares for everyone else, but refuses to safeguard herself. Scordo, you were supposed to protect her! Impossible! The captain works for my father. She would never harm my wife. Wait! We saw the captain head toward the signal tower. If that's where Sovel is, then I have to go there too.
Go after his lordship and make sure he doesn't get himself killed. That would upset the ambassador, though I don't know what she sees in the rat-faced milksop.
Really dislike meddlesome interlopers.
But I never saw that coming.
Sovel, she's not here. And I think maybe that mage tried to kill me. Well, maybe he was trying to kill you. What? How dare you insinuate such a thing? I would never! I'm as at a loss as to where Sovel is as you are. My father promised we would go off course just long enough for Sovel to miss her meeting. She wasn't supposed to be harmed. We were just... It was supposed to... The captain has worked for my father for years. My father, you just can't say no to him. He said that the captain would take care of everything. By the gods, what have I done? Sovel will never forgive me. I truly don't know. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Terrible storm, all those sailors who died. My father said Captain Henriza would make sure that no one was harmed. We were only supposed to get into port late.
There you are. Scordo found something. While you were up in the signal tower, Scordo did some scouting, and he thinks he figured out where Captain Henriza disappeared to. He went to see if the ambassador was there as well. Just down the path here, he found what looks to be an old smuggler's bolt hole in the rocks. Scordo sent me back so I could tell you all about it. He's waiting for you over there. I'll head back to camp. I need to check on the survivors.
See that cave? That's an old smuggler's hole. I bet my last gold piece that Captain Henriza is in there. Maybe even the ambassador. Nothing really, just a gut feeling. I learned a long time ago not to ignore my gut in situations like this. Besides, I saw one of Henriza's lackeys sneak in there trying to be all stealthy. I'm sure that's where Lady Sovel is. Why would you want to reason with someone like that? Do you reason with an angry Wamasu when it's trying to eat your face? No, you... Oh, ogre dung. What's that fool Ethian up to now?
I know you're in there, Henrisa! Where's my wife?
Run back to your father, you pathetic little man.
Free my wife at once, you villain!
I'm going to do your father a favor.
She stabbed me! I feel a bit faint.
I did not see that coming. Go after Henrisa. I'll see what I can do for Lord Ethian.
Maybe I should sit down. I've never been stabbed before. I actually tried to fight. Captain Henrisa? I just wanted to help Sovel. Oh my, I think I'm bleeding profusely. Tell her this was my fault. I was too afraid to disappoint my father. But I tried to make it right. I did try. Lady Sovel is a good wife. I wish I had been a better husband.
High King Emmerich will hear of this, you blackguard.
I knew you were nothing but a filthy orc lover! I should have gutted you the moment you entered our camp!
Do you want to brag about that, or should I?
If you could untie me, I would greatly appreciate it. And would you know if my husband is safe? He's Lord Ethian, and I made sure he got off the wrecked ship with a few of the crew and passengers. Ethian? My husband? Tried to stand up to Captain Henrisa. I never expected him to do such a thing. Ugh. Why didn't he stay with the rescued crew? He was never good in a crisis. Tell me, how bad was he injured? This is all Ethian's father's fault. What a vile man his father is. Ethian never could say no to him. And Ryza was eager to tell me all about it after she captured me. If Ethian dies because of this, I'll find a way to make his father pay. Thank you. I should go see my husband.
His lordship didn't make it. Damn. At least he tried to make things right in the end.
My poor Ethian. He wasn't a brave man, but he tried to stand up against that vile Henrisa. He did, didn't he? Thank you. Now, I have a job to do. I'll mourn Ethian after I have fulfilled my obligation to High King Emmerich. I'll send Scordo ahead to Orsinium to let them know we are on our way. Perhaps we'll see you there. The orcs will negotiate with me. There's still time to salvage my mission and make sure Ethian's father lives to regret what he set in motion. But thank you. Without your timely assistance, more innocents would have been lost. No, my friend. You've done more than enough. The rest is up to Scordo and me. I knew Baron the Tyr was a despicable man, but to force his son into this treasonous scheme? I never could quite free Ethian from his father's influence, though. My heart told me that, but it's good to hear you confirm it. His father, always scheming. He wanted my mission to fail, even if he had to have me killed to accomplish that. But Emmerich needs this treaty. Ethian's father hoped to deal with two problems at the same time. My marriage to his son, and Emmerich's treaty with the orcs. But his scheme led to his own son's death, and he'll answer for that. I plan to tell High King Emmerich everything.
May I speak with you a moment? I hear you've been misled. Did that skeever Yaus ask you to find a pendant? Oh, did he now? How typical. If that lech has a fiancé, then I'm the Queen of Daggerfall. That pendant is mine. It even has my initial engraved on the back. It was a gift from my parents. It turned up missing shortly before the storm. Yaus and we became friendly during the voyage, much to my regret. After one particular encounter, I noticed that my pendant was gone. Yaus swore he hadn't seen it, but then I heard him talking to you about it. How dare you call me a liar? Look, I admit that I exaggerated when Yaus admired the pendant. Heat of the moment and all that. He thinks it's an heirloom, but it really only has sentimental value. It reminds me of home. It's mine. I give you my word. Fine, talk to the liar. But be careful. His words fall like nectar from a tree. I thought he liked me, but he only had eyes for the gold around my neck. Because it belongs to me. Why would he be carrying around a gift for his betrothed on a voyage such as this? It makes no sense. He tells a good story. I'll give him that. But in the end, it smells like a guar stall. I'm sure you realize that. Because he's a thief trying to make a quick profit. That pendant is mine. It reminds me of my parents and my home. I admit that I was attracted to Yaus. Got too involved for my own good. But he just wanted to get his hands on my pendant.
Tell me, my good friend, were you successful? Did you find my pendant among the wreckage? You did? That's wonderful. My Eleni is going to be so happy. Now, give me the pendant if you please. I need to keep it safe until I return to Sentinel. Really? Why, that's ridiculous. Who would... Oh, you spoke to Azita, didn't you? Listen, she's just upset. We had a few intimate moments during the voyage, but she wanted more than I could give her. This is just her way of punishing me.
Belief in me is gratifying. I thought I had lost the pendant forever, and with it, my one remaining connection to my home and my parents. Thank you for your help. Now, give me my pendant so I can make sure I won't lose it again. Isn't my pendant beautiful? Thank you ever so much for returning it to me. Who are you? It doesn't matter, the Hand of Morkel is mine. Once I find it, which is harder than I thought. That's why you're here, isn't it? What? Why? My what? Does she even listen to me? She never listens. Honor of the clan, I say. You'll find someone soon, she says. All right. She sent you here to help? Good. Help me find Morkeldin. The long-lost home of Morkel clan. The old poems say it was buried in ice and stone-marked thrice. See the statues? Morkel's stonework and very old. Morkeldin has to be nearby, but well, maybe you can find the way in. The old poems of Morkeldin's founding mention a heroic trio who rebuffed Winter's grasp and found haven beneath. Maybe they saved the clan from a tunnel collapse. Oh, there's some writing at the base of the statues. Couldn't make sense of it. Buried in ice and stone-marked thrice. The statues must reveal the way inside. I think there's an order to lighting the braziers, but I can't get it to work. That rumbling. Do you feel it? The wall shifted! Sealed away, but hidden in plain sight. Morkelden, lost among the ice. My ancestral home. Beyond that wall? We're in this together now, right? Let's go! That's it! The Hand of Morkel. It's in some sort of... What is that, a display? It's nestled in there tight. Of course we can't just take it. The Hand of Morkel is held in something called the... I think it said Heart Forge? Also, endless breath and untold rage lets purest heart release the hand. Poets. We need to rekindle the forge. Endless breath has to mean bellows, and untold rage is... a furnace? Strange way to say it. I'm missing something. Can you look around for a bellows and some kind of blast furnace? Morkel clan prefers simple solutions that last. Look for switches or some kind of mechanism. We'll see what happens when you set things in motion. Oh, and stay alert. My ancestors wouldn't leave this place completely unguarded. You did it! Now for purest heart. The old clan word for heart also means blood. Purest blood. Morkel blood? My father is Morkel's chief. My blood must work. Just a quick flash of the knife. Look! It's opening! Like a hand. Opening. Oh. Oh no. The Hand of Morkel isn't our forge hammer. It's the cage around it. And if my clan's old word for heart also means blood, then this wasn't our heart forge. It was our... My mother says we're the best smiths in Hrothgar because we put heart in the steel. Whose heart? Whose blood? Morkel clan hasn't had enemies since the days of Morkelden. Did we feed our rivals to that thing? You're right. The old poems aren't about honor we lost when we left Morkelden. It's honor gained for burying our greatest shame beneath a mountain of ice. And a warning to stay away from the Hand of Morkel, which... well, we couldn't have known. Not without blood magic. But I can't just leave it here. It's our heritage. I'll bring it back to the stronghold, but what then? What do I tell my clan? Of course, returning the Forge Hammer will fill my clan with pride. Enough to take the sting away when I explain what Morkelden was. We must make peace with our ancestors and remember the lessons they taught. They've forged with clean hands for generations. The clan needs to know why that's important. I heard a rumbling when you rekindled the forge. Maybe another way out. Anything to avoid those ogres. Come here. Stand by my side as I address the clan.
Buy and sell, here and now.
Is that your ally, Ashaka? Quiet! Ashaka speaks on a matter concerning the clan.
Morkel clan, I come to you with a hard truth. But when have we ever feared the truth? I return from Morkelden with our clan's greatest treasure. Behold, the hand of Morkel. It's true our ancestors locked away the hammer, but not for the reasons we thought. Morkelden housed a blood forge. It's true. Our clan once turned to dark magic, but they faced this hard truth and abandoned it. For the blood we work into the metal is our own, not that of our enemies. I say to you, that is the strength of Morkel. This hammer shows our ancestors' strength. With it, we forge a new destiny.
Prepare yourselves, my clan. Soon we march to Orsinium. We shall build it anew.
Do you see how my clan looks at the forge hammer? The fire in their eyes? They'll rebuild Orsinium by themselves if they have to. Now, I name you Bloodkin to Morkel clan. Last thing I'll do before heading to Orsinium. The king needs a clan who can work its great forge. You think we'd let Shatul embarrass us with their inferior iron?
Vex in for some competition.
Kurag's outsider. I'm not sure what you did exactly, but you somehow restored peace to my family, and thereby helped my clan. You have my thanks. Sure, why not? I'll go to this moot and listen to what Kurag has to say. It's the least I can do after you helped us with our family problem. Perhaps I'll see you in Orsinium, outsider.
You would think the great artisans of Morkel might appreciate a fellow artist. You would be wrong. I'm studying an eminently misunderstood collection of artists native to Hrothgar. But how am I to complete my provocative companion artwork without the appropriate materials? What? No. The ogres. Their visual arrangement, indiscernible textures, the smells. Oh, the smells. Ogres have long realized art should stimulate every sense. I don't suppose you'd care to help me acquire the necessarily redolent materials? There's an ogre den in a nearby cave called Morkel Descent. Grab anything ogre created which has a natural look, feel, or smell. Bring it all to the House of Awesome Glories, and I'll assemble my artwork. I'm not clear, to be honest. It can't be that hard. Sticks and twine, maybe a few bones or horns here and there, smashed together with a particularly odoriferous glop. Nothing I can't manage. Have you met Preparator Nagaza at the House of Awesome Glories? I overheard her mention ogre artwork was something they consider displaying. And if I make the artwork with genuine ogre materials, we both win. Orsinium, the museum? You have heard of it, haven't you? You simply must go. The next time you're in the city, it's a perfect place to reveal ogre artwork to all of Tamriel.
Reekers aren't usually that much trouble. These were organized. Ever met a Reeker? I hate those sneaky little bastards. My hunting party got ambushed by Reeker raiders of all things. They were organized and their leader was powerful. He used magicka. They dragged off 2 of our hunters, including my twin sister Zubisha. You do that? Maruk took 2 hunters and went after Zubisha and Theric. But we're all tired and not used to being out on our own. If you can kill the Reeker chief and acquire his totem, I'll be able to save face with the clan elders. Maruk's probably the strongest in our party. He took the uninjured hunters and went after the Reeker. I think they headed toward the cave in the cliffside. Yeah, maybe. This was our first time out on our own, and things didn't go as planned. I'm responsible for what happened. Dorga's death is on my shoulders, and on the Reekers. But I don't want to lose any more of my friends. It was my idea. I wanted to show we were ready to help our clan. Prove ourselves, you know? We wanted to see if we could make a kill without the help of an older hunter. Well, most of us anyway. Jazim just tagged along to be with his brother. With all the outsiders coming to Rothgar, we wanted to prove our worth. Show we can handle ourselves. Gather meat, furs, provide for the clan. Never expected to get ambushed by Reekers, though. With your help, maybe we can make this right. I know it sounds strange, but the Reekers behaved like a raiding party. I even saw their leader bark commands in some gibberish language. If I don't salvage this, make things right, I'll bring shame to my mother. She's the hunt wife of our clan. The chieftain won't give up the totem willingly. But if I can give the totem to our elders and bring most of our hunters home, it will prove we aren't totally incompetent. I'll answer for what happened, but I want to make it as right as I can.
My head. It hurts like a skinned horker. One of those Reeker hit me with a damn rock! Orgotha, always giving orders. Thinks she was the hunt wife and not her mother. I just need to clear my head. Gotta find Avreg and Jasim. Don't want to add losing them to the list of today's embarrassments. They headed toward the cave up in the cliffs the last time I saw them. Right after that Reeker got the drop on me. Should have been back by now. Maybe you can find them? I'll make my way back to camp as soon as my ears stop ringing.
I was fine until I stopped to rest. That's when I noticed that one of those damn Reekers bit me. That makes two of us. But I'm more concerned about my little brother. He ran off to find our friends with only his stupid cat to help him. Look, if you could convince Jasim to get his arse out of there, I'd be grateful. Just watch out for the Reekers. Yeah. Raised it from a kitten and loves it all to pieces. Between you and me, my brother isn't an average orc. He's a little... different. Just find Jas and the others before the Reeker do something awful to them, alright? Tracked? I guess so. They weren't really trying to hide their path. Unfortunately, they were waiting for us just outside the cave. Speaking of which, did you happen to run into a big orc named Maruk? One of the Reekers cracked a rock on his head. That Orgotha, always thinking. She'll make a great hunt wife one of these days. I'm sure the Reeker leader is somewhere inside. Just find my brother and the others before you rile up the blue buggers. All this fighting is still kind of new to us.
Have you happened to see a small golden cat run by? She's ever so obstinate and loves to explore. Sometimes I think she's a better orc than I am. You met Avreg, did you? We look nothing alike, but he's the best brother I've ever had. I was trying to find the other hunters when Winks decided to go exploring without me. Stupid cat isn't afraid of anything. Hey, wait a moment, who are you? That's what I'm doing. But I lost track of Zubasha and Theric when Winks got away from me. And there are an awful lot of Reekers in here. If you find the hunters, I'll look for Winks. Sound good to you? You want me to abandon my companions? And poor Winks? That's not how orcs do things. That's not the orc way. Besides, I may have been raised by orcs, but I'm a Khajiit. In case you haven't noticed, we're stealthy. At least, that's what I've read. The same way as any orc, a snow bear left me near a warm forge. I'm just fooling. An orc hearthwife found me wandering in the woods and took me in. She raised me and my brother like other orc cubs. Taught us to fight and hunt and break things. Never met another Khajiit, but I'd like to one day. This one is pleased to meet you. I read they speak different. I practice when I can. I have a book about Khajiit culture. Fascinating stuff, but my hearth mother doesn't approve. Avrig and the orcs are my real family. But if you mean about where I came from, no. I had this moon medallion when they found me. My hearth mother says it brings me good luck, but not so much today. You don't miss what you never had, though, right? By the first forge, I'll never get the hang of this! You look for the hunters and I'll find Winks. Deal? Oh, there have been signs. I even saw her briefly. Durzog was chasing her and I killed it. Well, I guess I wounded it. It slunk off in that direction. But Winks dashed ahead again. She must be around here somewhere. Possibly. Winks can slip through the smallest openings. But she could be in here somewhere. It's a big room. If one of those reekers hurts my cat, they'll taste my blade. Find anything interesting? You look like the hearth mother whose horker roast comes out of the oven and the nose ring she thought she lost is poking out of the gravy. So, what did you find? Can I see that? Sounds like Khajiit jewelry. It's strange that you found it in an old orc ruin. It's just like mine. Exactly the same. And look how the bag was placed near these odd pillars. I think it's a puzzle. I love puzzles. Maybe. One of my dreams is to find out where I came from. Well, and then learn that I'm part of a royal Khajiit bloodline. I'm sure these pillars are some sort of puzzle. Must be a hint around here that will help us solve it. Did you see that? I saw a flash. I think there's something over there. Did you see that? That coffer appeared out of nowhere. I wonder what's inside. Do you think that scroll was left for me? Let me see that. Zeshara. My mother's name was Zeshara, and my sire was Ozin. I didn't remember that. The Hearth Mother said that a hunting party found me wandering in a snowstorm, too cold even to cry. They took me back to the stronghold. They did. They've always been good to me. The Hearth Mother, my brother Avreg, Orgotha, and others. I'm an orc, even if I don't look like one. But maybe my parents were rescued. Let's look for more clues. Maybe my Khajiit family is still alive. They must have gone deeper into the ruins. Follow me! She made these puzzles so that her child, so that I could find her. Come on, let's figure this one out. Another coffer. She hid them with simple spells. I think I remember playing this game when I was very young. Do you think they remained in these ruins, looking for me? It took a while, but I guess I did. It happened so long ago. I don't really remember her, or my people. I'm not sure how I feel about all this, but I need to find Winks. Maybe my mother left something else for me. I'll keep my eyes open as I look around. I'll look for more puzzles. And my cat. She's around here somewhere. I just know it. Oh, I forgot. Disappear! Damn it!
Don't know who you are, but at least you're not a short, hostile reeker. I'll live. But you need to find Zubasha. The reeker chieftain dragged her off. Something bad is going to happen to her, I just know it. All right. I'll sneak out of here and make my way back to the camp. When you find the chieftain, make sure you hurt him a lot before you kill him. He won't let Zubasha go if there's a breath still in him.
Another note. Maybe it's another riddle. I think that's another one of my mother's notes. You look at it, all right? How can my heart hurt so much for someone I never knew? I think you're right. Making these puzzles seem to give her some small amount of hope in a difficult situation. I still need to find my cat. I'll scout ahead and see if my mother left anything else for me. I think I found my mother. I was a fool to think my family might still be alive. There are other Khajiit skeletons in here. I didn't think it would hurt this much. She left those silly notes and puzzles for me. She loved her son. She loved me. I'm Jasim, but I'm also Elzar. Sounds kind of funny to my this one's ears. No, not completely. They're my family too, you know. My mother said that I have trade and travel in my blood. I might go to Orsinium. Apprentice myself to a merchant for a while. See how that feels. Yes, it is, isn't it? Maybe I'll contact someone in Mistral. Ask about Zeshara and Azin. I'd like to learn more about them. I'm going to stay here a while longer. Pay my respects, you know. Then I really have to go find my cat. Farewell, Mother. Don't worry about me. Find the missing hunters and the Reeker totem. I've got the stealth thing working fine now. May Joan and Jode shelter you, Mother. And may Malakath guide your way. Winks! Where did you run off to, you naughty little cat? Well, I'm glad you're back.
Please help me!
That Reeker chief was very improper. He kept stroking my brain. Are the others all right? I'd better go find them.
Thanks for rescuing my sister and the other hunters. But tell me, were you able to acquire the Reeker Chief's totem? Meeting you was the best thing that happened to us today. You have our thanks. I'll tell you though, I'm not looking forward to explaining all this to my mother, the Huntwife, or to our clan chief. Of course, we lost a few fine young orcs today, and it was my fault. I secured permission to go out on our own. I led the hunting party. And I failed to spot the Reeker lair. That's how they were able to get the drop on us. After I make sure we get back to the clan safely, maybe I'll go and see the new city they're building. I've heard it's quite grand. In spite of my mistakes, we got the Reeker's totem and saved most of the hunting party. Thanks to you.
Thanks again for helping me in there. It's good to finally know where I came from. If you're ever in Orsinium, look for me. I'm going to apprentice myself to whatever merchant will have me.
Thanks for the help, friend. And I really appreciate that you helped my brother. He always wondered how he ended up as an orc. Maybe we'll go and explore the Khajiit lands someday. Think of it. 2 brothers on an adventure. What could be better? Jasim has always wondered about his past. I suppose I would too, if I'd been raised by the catfolk instead of the Hearth Mother. Maybe that explains why he's so attached to that little flea bag he calls his friend.
Isn't my sister the greatest? I learned so many important lessons during this hunting expedition.
Did Orgotha say something about drinks?
Thanks for helping us. We're hoping Orgotha will let us take a side trip to Orsinium before we head back to the clan. I want to visit an alchemist and get something for my head.
That was an experience I don't want to have again. Thanks for lending a hand, stranger.
I should have been at my husband's side. He'd still be alive, and I'd still be his hunt wife. Well, look upon my husband and weep, for his next journey is to the Ashen Forge. Perhaps a new chief will deal with Kurog's latest nonsense. Until then, leave us to our misery.
Rotten luck, Chief. Rotten luck. Don't see many new faces at Chateau Range. Our only neighbors are surly giants. Speaking of which, Chief Ogzor had a nasty encounter with a giant's club a short while ago. Best keep your voice low. We don't know how much time he has left. Dying. No amount of healing magic can fix smashed brains. Soon as he goes, Shatul is in for dark times. The clan will tear itself apart without a good contender for chief. I want to prevent that. We know which giant smashed the chief. I want to return the favor. That'll show the clan I'm a good contender, which would help keep the clan together. Thing is, I'm no tracker. Care to help me find the bastard? I have a few words to say to Chief Ogzor's mother. I'll meet you where Urkael the Cleaver's tracks begin. Don't know why we call him that. He carries a club. I don't really know. Most giants are surly enough. Urkael the Cleaver, we've come to learn, is a mean drunk. Once, he tore off an Ichater's crest and tossed it across the snow like he was skipping a stone. Heard they found it in Farin's stronghold. You're right. Only made it 100 paces before it slammed into a tree. Took half a day to saw that bloody crest out. We tried to reattach the thing, but the Ichater wanted nothing to do with it. Most of Shatul's warriors died in the first Winterborn raids. Without a good contender for chief, neighbor will fight neighbor for a title they can't hope to hold. We can't afford that, after losing so much to the raiders. Truth is, everyone's afraid. The chief kept this clan together for 2 decades. A strong contender will quiet their nerves. Slaying the giant who killed Chief Ogzor? None will doubt my strength. You want me to quote the Code of Malekith? Go on about vengeance and grudges? I've had my fill of that. Something I learned around all these Ichater. The ones who bray the loudest never lead the pack. Someone whose actions speak loudest. Someone like Chief Ogzor. Yes, I want to be chief. I spent 2 decades watching this clan prosper under his guidance. I'm not relaxed. I just wasn't willing to kill my best friend for his clan. Contenders for chief fight it out in the Bloody Knoll. It's our shrine to Malakath, up on the hill. He who emerges is chief. Simple as that. Well, of course. That's how it's always been. Never thought about it any other way. I suppose it's possible. Still, I wouldn't wish that on any woman. She'd face constant challenge. Whispers behind her back, bitter sulking, the petty disrespects you expect from children, but all from grown orcs who should know better. We travel where the Achater travel. Can't say it'd be good if the chief was stuck here defending him, herself, I mean. I wouldn't want to put my clan through that, but that's me. Yazara? Yazara! Guess she's out. Listen, we both know you're the one who avenged the chief. Happy I could land a few good smacks. I'll tell Yazara when she's back. You deserve the credit. That's up to the clan. I'm only doing it because Shatul needs a chief. Can't say I enjoy staking a claim while my friend is dying in that tent. I'm not so sure I want to be chief again. Small clan. Our stronghold let Shatul camp there in the summers, in return for choicest pick of a Chater. Chief Ogzor wanted to strengthen the bond by marrying away his daughter. Ashruka was to be my hunt wife, but that didn't happen. Ashruka refused to be traded like the choicest pick of a Chater. She chose exile rather than marry me. A month later, raiders from the Reach wiped out my whole clan. Chief Ogzor took me in. Don't really know. Shatul tries not to talk about its exiles. Chief Ogzor forbade anyone from speaking of her. I think he blamed himself for pushing her away. After her mother died, Ashruka and her father were always at odds. It was inevitable. No, I've always respected how Ashruka held her ground, and I wasn't too keen on the match. I'd known her since she was a child, so going from Uncle Lorig to husband, we call that a Valenwood marriage. But don't let a wood orc hear you say it. Never. Chief Ogzor knew I'd consider that a dishonor after what he'd done for me, and Shatul needed my muscle. It wasn't charity, if that's what you're thinking. It was my own fault. I was more full of pride than sense back then. Shatul warned us of Reachmen they'd seen, prowling through the hills. I thought Chief Ogzor was trying to make up for Ashruka running off. Didn't pay it much mind. Then my clan was gone. Chief Ogzor's mother, Shatul's wise woman, though she hates it when we call her that. It falls to her to select the candidates for chief, and she's right over there. Yazara, look! I cut this off her kill the cleaver. My friend here struck the killing blow.
Impressive, Lorig. Why don't you show the others?
Sound advice, as always.
Come closer. We should speak. You avenged my son. I will not forget what you did for Shatul today. Nor will the clan. If you are willing, I have need of someone so capable. If Shatul is to survive, there must be a new chief. Lorig is one contender. The other is Ulgesh. I want you to meet him. Ogesh returned from Orsinium shortly after my son's injury. He declared himself a contender, but I'm not sure why. The boy never had brains or ambition. Serving in the Orsinium Guard was my son's suggestion. Shatul needs a chief who looks out for the clan before himself. We have no walls to hide behind, only our wits and our skill herding a Chater. If Ogesh has neither, I need to know. I sent him after Scamper, our laziest at Chater. Ogesh can explain the task. He's never been talkative, but see what you can learn as you aid each other. I'll want to speak with you when you return.
Who are you? I don't need your help. Alright. Yazara asked for a snow truffle. This lazy beast can sniff it out. But it's a two-person job. I can't keep Scamper and hunt for a snow truffle. It's like a tundra truffle, but tastier. Only grows in these parts. No clue. A potion, maybe? You scout ahead, find a truffle patch. Give a whistle. I'll send Scamper your way. Scamper will sniff the patch. If there's a snow truffle, he'll dig it up. You grab it and bring it to Yazara. Got it? Scamper is fast asleep. Give him a good kick to wake him. Near boulders or trees. Lots of them between here and Shatul. It's why they camp here in the winter. I lived in Orsinium for years. Sometimes I forget Shatul is home. Just find the snow truffle. It's cold out here. I think he found one. Scamper earned some sleep. Let's get back to Shatul. I won't forget. I think he found one.
Did you find Ogesh? Good. Give it here. Ogesh passed my test. Scamper has always required 2 people to wrangle. For Ogesh to send you back with the snow truffle tells me he learned to master his temper. He'd have tried to kill you, but you slew Urkale the Cleaver. I expect Ogesh would now be dead. Lorig and Ogesh are the only clear contenders for chief. They must enter the Bloody Knoll and duel beneath the stern gaze of Malakath. The one who emerges shall be the new chief of Shatul. Only an orc can become chief of Shatul, or of any orc clan. It's... I can't say it any simpler than that. I have not forgotten what you did for us. On behalf of Shatul, I name you Bloodkin. You shall always have a place among us. I already sent Lorig to the Bloody Knoll. Could you inform Ogesh he is to fight? I would do so, but I must attend to my son. Ogesh should be at his tent. And thank you for the snow truffle, Bloodkin. Sometimes the smallest favors are hardest to repay. It was my son's favorite food. His hearthwife, she has dozens of recipes. He loved them all. He won't be able to taste it. His mind, you see, there's nothing left of him. But I'll mix it into the poison so he enjoys it one last time. The poison I shall feed the husk that remains of his body. No, it is me, murdering my own son. Shatul must survive. Before a new chief is chosen, the old chief must die. By the time Lorig and Ogesh reach the Bloody Knoll, the poison will finish its work. Malakath will take no offense. I doubt that. An orc of Shatul would truly understand. You are neither. Yet you are bloodkin to our clan, and your words give me the strength to do what must be done. Shatul must survive.
Over here. We need to talk.
You looked different from inside Olgesh's helmet. What? What did you know? Yes, you're right. How did you know it was me? I see. You seem to know much about me, Snow Truffle. But not everything. A merchant friend keeps me informed of Shatul. When she brought word of my father's injuries, I had to return and contend for chief. Shatul must survive. As an exile, I'm not allowed to enter Shatul. But Ulgesh is no exile. I traded him a new set of armor for his old, then returned to my clan. My own grandmother couldn't tell the difference. The real Ulgesh has a squeak in his voice. One day he paid Morkel's forge wife to make him sound like an ogre. He always wore the helmet everywhere he went. It still smells like sweaty breeches and onions. I cleaned it 3 times. Nothing worked. Have you been to Orsinium? The king hammers away at traditions which keep orcs locked in squalid strongholds. He tempers us, forges us into something new, something better. I will become chief of Shatul, and in a decade, it will become tradition. Some won't. They may challenge me, and I'll have to kill them. But when any other clan clucks about the Code of Malakath, Shatul will band together as we always do. We'll triple their rate on a charter, a built-in blood price for the disrespect. I think we'll get rich off the Malakath zealots. That will make the king happy. And if he asks me to be his chief wife, I'll decline. But I'll offer him the chance to be my king husband. Lorig is a fine warrior, better than my father. But that's the problem. He never challenged my father. He's like an Achater bull that refuses to mate no matter how much ginger pulp you feed him. I haven't thought about that in years. He was always Uncle Lorig to me. Taught me how to play chop. Always called me Little One, even when I was nearly his height. I looked up to him. Then Father insisted I become his hunt wife. Lorig's heart was never in the match, but refusing would have led to a feud. Father was insufferable. A chief's daughter must bear the clan's burdens. But children are a burden I don't ever plan to bear. Not for the clan, not for anyone. Now I head to the Bloody Knoll. There I will kill Lorig and become chief of Shatul. For this to work, my grandmother must know my intentions. Inform her, and I swear upon my mother's memory, I will repay the favor when I am chief. Gladly. Tell her the truth. I don't care if she approves. She will need to prepare the clan for my success. If Malakath disapproves, he can strike me down in the Bloody Knoll. But Shatul must survive. Go. There's little time. My son, Chief Ogzor is dead. Lorig waits at the Bloody Knoll. Is Olgesh on his way? What? Ushruka was exiled from Shatul. I would never allow her to contend for chief. That foolish girl. We're a traditional clan. Shatul will never accept an exiled woman as chief. Had she become Lorig's hunt wife as my son wanted, Shatul would have stayed for the wedding. We would have been there when the Reach attacked Lorig's clan. Her selfishness led to their destruction. A chief who lost his entire clan to raiders from the Reach? He refused to challenge my son, to give him an honorable death under Malakath's gaze, because of friendship. No matter his prowess in battle, he is soft in the heart. Take this ritual blade. It is flawed at its core, just like Lorig and Ushruka. Replace the blade of the weakest contender. fair. I just watched my son die. None of this is fair. The flawed blade is a test. A weak contender who survives despite this setback deserves to become Chief of Shatul. When the blade fails, the weakest contender will most assuredly die. If she... Go, there is little time. Malakath favor the victor.
You have to go. If Ulgesh sees you, he'll kill you.
Ulgesh is in Orsinium. He sold me his armor before I came to Shatul.
No. What have you done?
Shatul must survive. Don't hold back, Lorig.
Malakath favor the victor. Goodbye, little one.
You've returned. Who is the new chief of Shatul? I see. Our clan will believe Malakath favors the loyalty Lorig showed my son. They'll accept his victory, for now. I shall advise him, if he allows it, and I will watch for weakness in his heart. Shatul must survive.
Mother Morrowind has her eye on you.
You alone emerged from the bloody knoll. Did you pray to Malakath for your victory?
I needed no prayers, only my strength.
Then go forth, my chief, and receive your clan. Shatul, I present your new chief.
Chief Ogzor was good for Shatul. Though Ushruka fell by my hand in the Bloody Knoll, I vow to lead by her father's example. I lost my best friend. Then I killed his daughter. The woman I was once supposed to marry. When it rains, it pours. But right now, it feels like it's pouring out in Echater's back half. You? Of course you have my support. You've done much for Shatul, and stood by me when my friend was dying. When it's time, I'll hear him out. You have my word.
You're the one who helped Scamper find the snow truffle. Everyone calls him lazy, but they just don't know how to motivate him.
I should have been at my husband's side. He'd still be alive, and I'd still be his hunt wife.
Doesn't matter who's chief. If we aren't prepared for the spring thaw, the Echater will drown beneath the snow.
Winter on the range, it's almost poetic. The stillness, the quiet, the cold fit to freeze your fingers off. Does, doesn't it? My great-grandfather chose the spot. Far away from everything. Plenty of trees, game. We drive the Echaters to pasture in warm months, and corral them up here in the winter. This winter's likely to be colder than most. Live on the land as long as I have, you learn to read the signs. The herd is restless, the wildlife flees, and the giants. Well, I think all this snow gets to them sometimes.
This is not justice. So now we have a new chief. Everyone is ready to forget Chief Ogzor, to ignore his murder. Urkael the Cleaver robbed me of my husband's mind, but Glagosh is to blame. She secretly worships Boethia, the Daedric Prince of Murder. Her prayers brought about Chief Ogzor's death. I haven't found the proof. I am no longer Hearthwife of Shatul. My husband's life was stolen from me by his huntwife, my own clan sister. I want justice. Try the Giants' camp where Chief Ogzor fell, or Lugbag. Ask what he heard the night before the attack. And search Glagosh's tent. Confront her with anything you find. I want to know what she has to say for herself. Shatul travels with the Achater. We have no prisons, just the Code of Malakath. If you wrong another in the clan, you have two choices. Pay in gold or pay in blood. I don't know. Poison, ritual sacrifice, time when she slipped away from the clan. Anything that connects her to Boethia.
You're the one who helped Scamper find the snow truffle. Everyone calls him lazy, but they just don't know how to motivate him. It's nothing. Well, Stubbs went missing that night. When I caught her out in the snow, I heard someone singing. It sounded like Glagosh, but I didn't stay to listen. If the chief's huntwife wants to sing alone at night, that's her business.
I should have been at my husband's side. He'd still be alive, and I'd still be his huntwife. Oh? About what? That's my hunting blade. Chief Ogzor must have grabbed it on his way to the giant camp. Careful how you handle it. The blade has a paralyzing poison on the edge. His sword jangles. Lots of little buckles on the scabbard. But mine is quieter than a thief. I bet he didn't want to wake me the morning he was injured. Damned fool, trying to prove himself. Didn't want his huntwife along to fight the giant. You rummaged through my tent? If you weren't bloodkin, I could gut you for that. Not that my things are your business, but it's a book of battle poetry. I read them occasionally. It's what they preach in Orsinium, isn't it? Always wise to keep in touch with the king's politics. Better to know the old myths than sound like a bumpkin. We're a clan that travels the range. It gets boring at night. Sometimes we sing to keep up our spirits. No, that. I wasn't singing. I was chanting. I was out hunting when I nearly stumbled into a mammoth. They have poor night vision. If you chant the way the giants do, sometimes you can fool them into thinking you're not a threat. Well, I don't. What is the point of your questions? The poor girl is still young. She can't accept that our husband fell in fair combat. There is no conspiracy. Just a good man who fell before his time. Tell her that.
So, what did you find? What did she have to say for herself? I knew it. Her hands are red with my husband's blood. Well, I don't know why he would. But you're right. His own blade was still in the tent. That means nothing. She's still a Boethia cultist. I'm sure of it. What does Glagosh care about Orsinium politics? The book proves her guilt. What about Lugbag? He heard something the night before my husband was struck down. You see, a cultist chants to her Daedric prince, just like the stories. I bet she was cavorting in the moonlight. Perhaps she was chanting to ensorcel Urkael the Cleaver. We've all seen her do that before. Of course she would say that. Followers of Boethia live only to deceive. It was Boethia worship, no matter what she says. Chief Ogzor deserves justice. Something must be done about Glagosh. This is enough evidence for me to demand the blood price from Glagosh. You're right. I was just so angry. If she had been there beside him, he'd still be alive. We'd still be a family. I'll speak with Glogosh. We both lost someone important to us.
Malakath, I pray your words aren't lost. Vision fades. And yet, I see you clearly through the fog at life's end. Malakath, is that you? No, I see. I see. Malakath sent you to me, didn't he? That means his words will not be lost. The Voshrock, they attacked our stronghold, crying for our blood in the name of Trinimac. They came for the sacred words, the hidden sanctuary, but they made a mistake. They misinterpreted the blood rite that opens the way. Malakath has sent you to see the sacred words to safety. Find the other archivists. Gather a drop of blood from each to open the way. You can start with mine. And know that the Agrakron will guide you.
You truly want to help us secure the sacred words of Malakath? Then let us speak. For you cannot find the way on your own. Outsider! You honor Malakath with your actions. I serve the Furious One as well. And as his instrument of vengeance, I swear that the death of the Archivists will not go unanswered. You, however, have a different purpose in all this, I think. The faithful of Malakath require protectors, especially in these difficult and violent times. I am one of Malakath's mortal agents, one of the Agrakron. You would say the blood shield in the common tongue. You have the Archivist's blood, yes? There was little time to prepare you, and still less now. Malakath's vengeance cannot be delayed. But I can give you this book. It describes the path you must walk. You were not intended for this path, but you must walk it all the same. The Stronghold Keep. A shrine to Malakath waits inside. Though it hides in our prince's true place of power. The blood holds the key, though your will and your faith must reveal the way. Initiates used it to gain admittance to the Old Order, as did those who sought refuge in the halls of Malakath's true servants. It will guide you, but like the Furious One, it won't lead you by the hand. You'll have to work to succeed. Now go. The blood shields? To most we are shadows, but for a precious few, we are a beacon of light. Retrieve the sacred words before the Voshrock destroy them, as the Furious One has charged you. I have my own task. Later, we can talk more if you like.
I hope you're watching.
before, and as it will be again. Then it is my time. Strike true. Your quest will come to nothing if you falter here. Malakath demands sacrifice, even of his most devout children.
You have proven yourself capable of doing whatever Malakath asks of you. Good. Only the worthy may carry the sacred words. You have done well, outsider. Not only were you able to find this sanctuary, you proved yourself worthy enough to take up the sacred words. You should be honored to be so favored by Malakath. The choice was yours. Though Malakath always demands a sacrifice, a display of loyalty and commitment. But rest assured, the Keeper knew her role, and she relished the taste of it. The Archivists have been avenged, and Malakath's fury sated. For now. The remaining Vashrak will soon notice their shrinking numbers, and depart Farum. Until then, I will remain to guard the Sanctuary, while you get the sacred words to safety. The Agrakran is all around, hidden in plain sight. In Orsinium, for example, waits one of the most powerful of our order. Take the scroll to Chroma, but protect it safe until you reach her. The Trinimac cult wants the truth destroyed at any cost. Go to the residential district and find the house where the light of Malakath shines. Follow the light. It will guide you to Chroma. Give the scroll that contains the sacred words to her, and only to her. Now go, and may Malakath protect you.
Malakath's faithful could use your aid. Malakath whispered of your strength. Those who remain true to the Daedric Prince of Vengeance must band together in these difficult times. Yet they who share our faith now move against us. Winterborn raiders. Before King Kurog bottled them in Frostbreak, one group splintered from their mob. They seek the Vengeful Eye, a relic granted by the Daedric Prince himself. The splintered mob was last spotted in catacombs, untouched since the siege of Old Orsinium. When I learned this, Malakath's rage quickened in my heart. Clearly a sign. The relic is there. It must not touch Winterborn flesh. Scholars uncovered the catacombs at what they call Honor's Rest. Once inside, seek the Vengeful Eye. Return it swiftly when you find it. The stories say it was given to Malakath's champions as a sign of his favor. Only the strongest wore it, and passed it to whomever could slay the bearer. It is not. All that matters is what the Vengeful Eye represents. Malakath demands strength, despises weakness. The relic is a symbol for his followers, a holy mandate. This is why the Winterborn must never recover it. A great warrior from the Reach was said to wear it last. It's why the Winterborn scrape and paw in the catacombs. They claim Malakath demanded their ancestors' service, that they have honored the Prince of Vengeance ever since. We are Malakath's children. He tempers us in Nirn's forge, beating us against the anvil of Hrothgar. He bears no love for the Winterborn. Malakath whispers to them so they may inflict themselves upon us, so we may prove ourselves the stronger metal.
I do not know you, yet you approach with great purpose. State your intentions and let Malakath judge your worth. Yes, I heard about the trouble at Faron's stronghold. Thank Malakath that you were able to secure the holy text. The Agrakran will make sure it remains safe. The Vashrak lost today's battle thanks to you.
Come in, come in! Feel free to look around. Welcome, welcome! Come in and see all the wonders that the House of Orsimer Glories has to offer. Of course, there will be much more to see once all of our exhibits are in place. This is the newly established Museum of Hrothgar, authorized by the king himself. Our mandate is to collect historic treasures related to orcs and the Orsimer nation, but I'm simply a scholar. I can't go searching for ancient relics. Of course! But before I ask you to go traipse around in search of historic treasures, why don't you take this downstairs and put it on display? It's the Agra Kran, the Blood Shield. It was recently donated to the museum by an anonymous adventurer. Place the shield on the proper display downstairs. In the meantime, I'll write out a list of the historic relics we're hoping to secure for the museum. Come back and speak to me after you're finished, and I'll give you the list. The name means blood shield in the Orcish tongue. The shield belonged to the legendary shield wife, Bagrar Trollslayer. She distinguished herself as the first protector of Malakas's faithful during the time of the Balagog blood purge. You mean as curator? That's an interesting story. I guess you could say that I'm a city orc. Born and raised in Wayrest, educated at the finest Breton academies. King Kurog and I met during his travels, and when he offered me this museum, I said yes. Oh, you mean the clan tattoo? Yes, well, I guess you could say that was a gift of sorts. I toured the various clan strongholds when I first arrived, and Chief Bosrog of the Farun clan insisted that I allow his wise woman to mark me. The king wants to preserve and display the culture and history of this land. He believes that a museum is an integral component in the rebuilding of Orsinium and the establishment of the Orsimer kingdom, and I heartily agree.
What an undeniable aroma. Let's see, bones, more bones, a slightly different bone, some sticky goop to hold it all together. Oh, my friend, you have outdone yourself. Have faith. The sculpture begins as a block of stone. Masterful painting, nothing but canvas on a board. Time to assemble this for Preparator Nagaza. Soon, all shall witness my glorious homage to Hrothgar's ogres.
What is this?
Masterpiece, delivered as promised.
What is this mess?
Mess? But this is an authentic replication of ogre artwork, as requested. The materials came straight from an ogre den.
By the bloody cursed Dorinar! It reeks!
Ah, you understand?
I understand the gorge rising in my throat!
It's perhaps not my best work.
I appreciate your help. You wouldn't believe how much goes into getting the museum ready for visitors. Just preparing the displays was a tremendous amount of work. If you're interested, I have a lead on another piece we're seeking, Uzdabich's helm. Have you heard of the mountain called Sorrow, along the northern border of Hrothgar? According to the Burska clan's oral tradition, the helm was last seen in that area. Just be careful. The mountain and the land around it is decidedly treacherous. This one gives me chills. The helmet was worn by the legendary orc hero Uzdabik, who single-handedly slew 1001 Redguards during the Battle of Farun Pass. Little known fact, Uzdabik might have been a woman. For the time period, I'd say so. And even now, as Hrothgar struggles with the clashing cultures of city and stronghold, Examples such as this go a long way toward making the king's point. Besides, a little scandal always attracts visitors.
Keep quiet. If my kinsmen see us together, they will kill us both. I need your help. My tribe seeks the Vengeful Eye, a token of Malakath's favor. When we find it, we will march to the nearest stronghold and raze it to the ground. Then the next, and the next. I want you to find the Vengeful Eye and take it from this place. If it's never found, there is no Vengeful March. My tribe returns to the Reach. The stronghold remains standing. We both win. My tribe reveres Malakath, but we are nothing to him. This fighting with Hrothgar's orcs serves to amuse a Daedric prince. Nothing more. The Hag Ravens would know the moment I held it in my hands. Better if I never even saw the thing. Somewhere in these catacombs. Likely among the grave goods. We've searched one wing thoroughly without success. I expect it will be found in the other. Did you find the Vengeful Eye? Do you have it with you? Good. Don't show it to me. The Hag Ravens know things about those who serve them. I'm not... You know, I never expected to actually find it. I don't know what should happen next. A vengeful march across Hrothgar. From here to the statue of Malakath. According to the Hag Ravens, its bearer will carry Malakath's blessing. With the champion of the Winterborn crowned by Malakath, we could then march on Orsinium. The orcs of this land want anything related to Malakath, so maybe they'd pay for it. I don't know. I've never been to Orsinium. I hear it's big. Although, giving it to them will make Orsinium a target for my tribe. Long ago, 2 orc brothers tried. They planned to melt it down in the forge near Malakath's great statue. But one heard whispers, slew his kin, and took the Vengeful Eye for himself. Not the best idea. My ancestor killed him and took it off his corpse. Mercedine, Beast of the Reach, daughter of Evandine, Tusk Collector, made general in the siege of Old Orsinium for her abject ferocity. We're a pale shadow of what she was. Thankfully. Don't think too long. Destroy the Vengeful Eye at Malakath's statue, or dedicate yourself to vengeance in its shadow. Sell it in Orsinium for all I care. But do it before the Hag Ravens read the entrails, or the Winterborn will come for you.
I think I made it. Got away clean. I don't think they followed me. You don't look particularly religious. You're not a member of the Bosch Rock, are you? A stupid question, I know. If you were a member of the cult, you wouldn't tell me. I was on my way to Orsinium with a group of crafters and artisans, just minding my own business, when these fanatics attacked us. It was like they were hunting baby horkers, whacked us in the head and tossed us in a cart. I managed to slip away. Not much to tell. I didn't wait around to hear a sermon or anything. It was kind of confusing, but they kept referring to Trinimac for some reason. Razasha might know more. She escaped too, but she went back to help her captured mate.
I don't know whether to stay here or go find help. If they hurt my Shalda, I don't know what I'll do. How did you... Yes, we were on our way to Orsinium, Shaldagon and I. There were a few of us, artisans and crafters, answering the king's call. The cultists attacked, took us captive. I managed to escape, but my Shalda, they took her into the ruins. They weren't very forthcoming with information as they were hauling us off. Their leader called himself Glothan the Recruiter. Said we'd all be true believers in no time. I'm afraid he's going to hurt Shalda and the others. I feel so helpless. Thank you so much for helping me. With your help, I just know that Shalda and I will be back together in no time. There were a lot of them, and they were strong, stronger than we were at any rate. Glothan was the worst. He kept saying that fire and ice would lead us to Trinimac's truth, whatever that is. Will you find Shalda and the others? Please! Shalda and I packed up our pottery shop in Shornhelm to make a new start in Orsinium. If I lose her, I don't know what I'll do. The others, just travelers we met along the way. A cook, a couple of mages. I hate to think of them coming to harm. I appreciate your help. Shalda and I aren't very religious, but what these cultists are doing is wrong. Oh, and I noticed an opening in the back of the ruins. That might be the best way to escape after you find Shalda and the others. Glothan's a brutish, nasty orc. Praised Trinimac with one hand and slew a poor tailor who defied him with the other. He took notes, made a list of the captives, his new recruits, he called them. That should help you locate Shalda and the others.
Hey! Over here! Help! Don't let them kill me! Threatening me. Said they were going to throw me in the ice prison. What should I do now? I'm a cook, not a warrior. Thanks, but what should I do now? I'm not really good at making difficult decisions. I think I can do that, as long as I'm careful. Others were dragged in here with me. Humble travelers who never harmed anyone. And now they're threatened with pain and death if they don't swear allegiance to the Vashrock. Right. Thanks again. You know, I came to Hrothgar because it was supposed to be a safe and amazing place for orcs to live. Well, so far it doesn't seem to be either safe or amazing.
Damn, those are hot! Now I know what roast Horker feels like. They kept stoking the fire, making it hotter and hotter. I was almost ready to agree to whatever they wanted. Almost. Razashaw's alive? Praise the Eight and anyone else who wants to listen. I'm just glad she didn't follow us in here herself. Those Vashrock maniacs want new members. Someone who calls herself the Proselytizer leads this bunch. You need to stop her. Osnora the Proselytizer? She's a horror. She came by not too long ago and told them to make the fire hotter. Said it would help me see the light. If I get the chance, I'll show her some light.
I beg of you, don't touch anything. I beg of you, talk to us first.
Don't touch the switches or you'll kill us! The Vashrock. They're trying to break us. They want Unsulag and me to swear to serve Trinimac. Or their version of Trinimac, at least. So far, we've refused. But these ice prisons wear you down. They said they only need one of us. The switch in front of me releases on Sulak, but freezes me, and the one in front of her does the reverse. They keep coming in and asking us which switch to press. So far, we've refused to play their game. So far. If I knew how to do that, I'd tell you. I hate to say this, but I don't want to die. If you free me, I can help. I'm a strong elemental mage, and I can fight. But this blasted prison keeps me from casting even the simplest spell of warming. Unsulog's a good woman, but she's already lived a full life. I can aid the rulers of Orsinium, assist my people. I have many productive years remaining, if I get out of this. Release me, and I'll devote myself to helping others. You have my word.
Don't touch the switches! They're trapped!
Trapped, you know. Touch the wrong switch and somebody dies? That kind of trapped. The Vosh Rod took us captive. Said we were gonna join their cult, one way or another. If I stay in this icy prison long enough, I might just agree to anything. That's the problem. If you push the switch in front of me, Gahar will be released, but I'll freeze to death. If you push the switch in front of him, I go free and he dies. They've been trying to make us decide, but we won't give them the satisfaction. Not this time. The Voshrok set this up so that only one of us would get to join their crazy cult. If I were noble, I'd say save Gahar and let me die. But I'm not noble. I have a family. They need me. And I'm a healer. I can help you if you let me. Gahar seems to be a good sort. But do we really need another violent battle mage? I heal the sick and help the wounded. And more than that, I want to live. I know it must sound terrible, but I really want to live. Terrible choice you had to make. But Trinimac preserve me. Thank you for choosing me.
Oh no! I hate the cold.
Poor Gahar. Horrible. But you made the right choice. You'll see. I feel terrible about what happened to Gahar. But I'm as good as my word. I'll fight alongside you until we get out of this madhouse. Of course. My healing magic is yours to command. I won't let you down.
About damn time! Ancient ruins full of cultists makes my knees hurt. Out of my way, youngster! I can find my own way out.
Riddance to that piece of rubbish. How does someone claim to worship a god and go on about killing someone who doesn't agree?
Go ahead. We'll be right behind you. No worries. We'll stay back and let you deal with any of those Voshrok maniacs we run into. We'll move forward as soon as we see that the coast is clear. Let's go!
down here! You did it! I don't know how you did it, but I'm eternally grateful for what you've done. I know you did your best, and I'm ever so grateful. We're going to stick together and find the nearest stronghold. We'll hire some bodyguards and make our way to Orsinium. We won't forget what you did for us. None of us will.